rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Well, it's 7:30, and this is
7:30 and all is well.
And so this is Get It Right Texoma with the trio. Got Terry, got Trey, and we got Mike, and he's there, and he's always laughing.
Always looking over us.
So anyway, so we're here, and we're here Friday mornings, every Friday morning. So far, we've done pretty good. Had a couple of technical glitches, but it looks like we got both streams going this morning. And
last week we had a little bit of a stream issue, but on 7:30 on Facebook and YouTube.
I have a medicine for that. Anyway, sorry.
It's at the free clinic.
Yes. 7:30, always Facebook and YouTube.
That's right.
We got that going.
And now YouTube, it lasts forever. The archives are there.
Yep.
Facebook is 30 days.
Yep.
So if you ever want to go back and look at some previous shows, and I recommend you do. We've had some great guests on.
Oh, yeah.
And continue to. We don't have any guests today.
Yep.
We're flying solo today, which occasionally we do. But we have guests lined out for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, next week, I'll kind of talk about the guests.
Well, just any previews, any teasers here?
Well, we've got I in my head here, Brad Rogers is going to be in.
We got
Scott Potent is going to be in with us.
Is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
he's running for mayor.
Potent. I think it's Potent. Okay. But anyhow, we'll work it.
We'll have that out.
For mayor.
And you got Jenica lined up. You got
Jenica Lambert's coming in. Yeah. We've got quite a few. So we're going to have a list. Like I said, we'll have a list next week.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you still got to tease it, So
tease the
We learned that from, of course. Why not?
I don't know who you dated in high school.
Well, Mike would, he would always tease, but anyway.
But you didn't tease the tease.
Well, why not?
I teased that we're doing the tease next week.
Well, anyway. Well, we should always tease.
That's true.
We should always tease. So anyway, like and subscribe, and let's get into
And be sure to subscribe.
Yes.
Okay, that's important because it's one of those deals.
Yeah, it's algorithms and all that.
Well, it's not just that. It's also so you know that it's coming up, and you can look and go, oh, well, it's just those two dopes. I don't want to watch that. That's okay. But it's like, oh, Tim Short's going to be on.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. So let's get.
And by the way, I'm trying to get the mayors, and I've reached out to the mayors of Henrietta, Burkburnett, Iowa Park, and Holiday.
Well,
and I've got no response.
Well, and we've got actually, who has offered up her joining the new mayor of Lakeside City.
Oh, okay. Well, I've not heard from. I didn't reach out to her.
No. Okay.
But I did reach out to 4 mayors, and I haven't heard from any. So if anybody goes, hey, I know Joe Blow, whoever's the mayor at Burke or whatever. I know it's not Joe Blow. It's a female. It's a lady in Burke. But just say, hey, contact Trey. And 940-733-6091 or 940-322-4121. I'm at Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles. I can be found.
Yes, he can be found. So let's get into it. This is Get It Right Texoma.
There you go.
So where do we always start every morning? Every Friday
One of my favorite burger places in Wichita Falls for so many years. We are really blessed in Wichita Falls to have so many great local burger places. Local places to get a great hamburger, and Pat's is as good as any of them. Pat Worgam is 85 this week. That's why I kind of wanted to highlight her. And Pat is no longer involved in the business. She's got some health issues, but her daughters are running the show there. And Pat started out in about either 1966 or 1967. Yeah. It was a North Side.
Okay.
Which is basically the neighborhood where the Impact is now.
Okay.
It was over there, and that's when they moved to their current location where the Steak and Egg used to be when the Impact was built, and they had to get rid of there. There's a picture of Pat at her birthday party, right? Or with a big cake right there.
All right.
Yeah. So she and her husband Jimmy started this burger place. And it was one of those where it had a little dine-in, or they also had a walk-up counter as a corner, like a corner lot. You walked up to the window and you ordered, and then you went and picked up your food. And just legacies and decades of high-quality food with great service. One of my favorite Pat stories was when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I was in there and wanted a hamburger. I didn't like mustard in those days. I like mayonnaise. So I ordered myself a cheeseburger, and I don't know if it was Pat or one of the people that worked for him. They used to kind of call the stuff back shorthand to some degree. She turned around and she said, "One sissy burger." And I swelled up like a bullfrog. But of course, I wasn't gonna say a word because my dad would have whooped my hiney if I'd said anything.
Well, you know.
But so that was my dad used to joke with me for years. My dad would bring that one up. But no, Pat's is a great place. Their onion rings are. I know you're an onion ring guy.
Oh yeah,
I am too. Their onion rings are unbelievable. Big, old, huge, fat onion rings, and they're cooked perfectly.
Okay.
The porky is my favorite, which is a burger with ham.
Burger with ham.
It's a beef patty, but it has a slice of ham on it.
Okay.
Porky with cheese, no pickles. Been there once or twice before. Their Frisco's good. It's got chili. Their chili is good.
Right.
They have chili. If you just want to get a bowl of chili, it's dang good.
How long have they been around?
Since 1966 or 1967.
Wow. So that's well, back before the commercial.
Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles, but it's our 60th year. It's our 60th year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before the one of the other big restaurants had that song, have it your way. Well, you could already have it your way.
That's right.
I bet here anytime.
Oh yeah, you can order
it was made to order.
It still is.
It still is
today.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna
original made to order
you
fast
can call
food
in and go pick it up, which is great. Or you could go sit in there and order it ahead of time. Yeah, it's not going to be made in 2 seconds.
No.
You're going to wait 5-10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, depending on how busy they are. But it's going to come out hot, fresh. It's going to come out exactly how you want it.
There you go. Yeah. All right. We'll go check it out. We always look at the hours. Let's see.
They do lunch and dinner and don't do breakfast.
Yep. We got, all right. They're closed Saturday and Sunday because they're there for the lunch crowd and the evening dinner crowd.
That's right.
There you go. So,
right downtown. They're at 500 Scott Street, I believe is their address.
400.
400 Scott Street.
Yep.
I knew it was down in that area. But it's really where Scott and 5th Street kind of come close together.
Yep.
Right there. It's right before that.
322-3531. Of course,
if you've been around Wichita Falls for a long time, it's the old Steak and Egg building. Or as at the time when we were teenagers, we called it the Steak and Leg building. That's where the hookers hung out.
Oh, okay.
They don't anymore. That was a long time ago.
All right. Well, there you go. You got Pat's Drive-In. You get it there, man. So, all right. What's next?
Okay. Of course, it's the 4th of July this weekend and tomorrow. But there's going to be tonight, Burkburnett has their celebration, their Freedom celebration. It's at Friendship Park, which is, just Google search it. It's right over by where their little convention center type thing is and their community center and all that. Right. But they're going to have fireworks. They're going to have live music. They're going to have food vendors. They're going to have a kids area. It all starts, I think the kids area, it says over there, opens at 4:30 p.m.
Okay, yep.
The
vendors and kids area, yep.
Yeah, the vendors and kids area start at 4:30. The live music starts at like 5:30 or 6:30, and then the fireworks shows go after dark.
Yep, 705 Davy Road.
Davy Road.
Amphitheater
right
there.
If you see the water tower, which is pretty prominent, I mean, you can't miss it. The water tower is right there. The baseball fields are right there. It's all right there. It's close. The high school's close by.
Get there early.
Yeah. Yeah. The nice thing is there's plenty of parking there. Yeah. There's a lot of parking around there within a quarter of a mile walk.
Okay.
So,
well, there you go. So that's it's the live music is the Armadillo Flats.
That's right.
Never heard of them, but that's okay. I don't know.
Usually they're not flat. They don't get run over. They jump and then they die, but they're still round when you drive by them and see them.
Well, that Flats with a 2 T's.
By the way, we got the wrong screen on.
Whoops.
There we go.
Wait a minute.
Steve's not here.
There we go.
There we go.
Technical. There we go. I'm sitting there. We're watching it. There it is. So I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Yeah. There. Oh, yeah. I could read it there. So yeah, July 3rd. So that's tonight. And then tomorrow night, if you want to keep celebrating your July 4th, go to the Falls Freedom Festival Park.
Right.
4th in the Falls Freedom Fest is what I meant to say. It's at Independence Park. I believe that's right.
Well, it says Festival Park.
Festival Park, yeah. Basically, it's like right between the MPEC and the K. Yeager Coliseum. That little area right there. It is co-promoted by Shepherd Air Force Base in the city of Wichita Falls. For years, they would switch off.
Yep, alternate. Yep.
And then getting onto Shepherd is a pain in the rear if you're not military. And Shepherd wants to welcome people, but they have rules they have to follow.
Yeah.
And it's not just local. I mean, they've got to follow DOD requirements and all that. And so at some point they said, you know what? Let's just do the whole thing in Wichita Falls, downtown Wichita Falls, and then we'll basically bring Shepherd to you.
Yep.
And lots and lots of military people show up. There's a flyover going to be there. There's going to be a fireworks display, a battle of the bands, country band All Hat No Cadillac, which is a pretty big local band. There's going to be a car show, a kids zone, local vendors, food trucks, a beer tent, a military flyover, a massive fireworks display, and, as Steve talked about last week, a drone show as well.
Yes.
And if you've never seen a drone show, it is phenomenal. I like the fireworks too because you get the concussion of the fireworks, which is pretty cool. But as far as from a visual standpoint, those drone shows are hard to beat.
Oh, yeah.
They can make them do anything, go in any shape, any colors.
But
it's amazing.
But it is a little bit ominous because all those little drones they're being commanded by something. And just
usually a guy with a remote control.
Yeah, well, there's a little more to it. And they've got some AI thrown in there.
Wow. So you're saying you're saying this is just the beginning?
Imagine that coming after you. So, anyway, but it is cool though. It is.
We need to train crows up to defend us against the drones.
There you go. They go after the shiny objects.
Crows are very trainable.
Oh yeah, they're very intelligent.
I think it's in France. They actually use crows to go pick up like trash in parks and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they train them and then they come. You do the what? I guess you have to be a crow whisperer or something.
Yeah, crow. I don't know. But yeah, have you seen that though?
Yeah.
The crow will go pick up a piece of trash and go deposit it, and then it gets a treat.
Okay. Well, yeah. I know that.
I think crows are highly trainable.
Oh yeah, no, Lucy's always talking about that. She wants a crow. So
Yeah.
All right.
So anyhow, here's some things you need to know before you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Starts at 5. No personal fireworks. Don't show up and don't be the dumbass that shows up and thinks I'm gonna shoot a fireworks show and it's got when there's already fireworks going. You can't compete. No pets. Yeah, leave your dog at home, because nobody wants to be around your dog.
And a lot of dogs don't like our dog is. And I think
go batshit crazy over fireworks.
Oh, I know.
So leave your dog at home. No coolers, tents, backpacks, and of course medical bags and diaper bags are allowed. You can imagine if you can't do a diaper bag, you just let your kid carry around a diaper full of poop. But no outside food or beverages except for one unopened bottle of water per person. So you could take a bottle of water. Take some. Hey, by the way, take some cash with you. Because buy stuff, buy those vendors. I mean, those vendors are there for a reason. They probably paid something to be there. So go and enjoy it, and if you want to do it on the cheap, that's fine because the event is free. Just understand, you're going to be thirsty. You're going to have one bottle of water.
And look right there. Touchless cold water refilling stations are located near the restrooms. So you just need the one bottle. And that's all.
If you want to do it on the cheap, you
just
can
bring an empty bottle.
No, this is unopened.
Oh, it has to be. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe you can bring an empty bottle. Maybe you can't. I don't know.
Okay.
If it was me, I'd take a bottle of water.
Yeah, don't be
drink it. Drink that way you don't worry about it.
And you go
drink it or drink it and then fill it up at the touchless thingy.
Right. Okay. Well, surely they'll be a little reasonable on that. But anyway, so lawn chairs or blankets and sunscreen and bug spray, man.
Yep.
Get there in case
because it is going to be hot.
Yeah,
it's a scorcher outside.
Now something else, just to remind, tonight, isn't it the symphony is going to be at? I don't think did you have that on there?
No, we did that last week.
No, I know, but it's just a reminder that
can't do no damn symphony every week, boy. No, I'm just kidding.
So, but the symphony is going to be at Collective Coffee.
Yeah, Collective Coffee. The symphony is.
Check that out as well. If you're in Burke, go up there. Otherwise,
if you don't want fireworks, you can go listen to jazz.
Go.
That is. You talk about two dichotomies here. You can either go to Burke and listen to live, kind of loud music in their amphitheater and have fireworks and concussions, or you can go listen to jazz.
Yeah, good shit.
Which is cool. Whatever you're into, you're into. Don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. The Next Star Sports Banquet Award is a Thursday night, which is the 9th, I believe.
Okay.
And this is a great awards banquet. So it's local athletes. And when I say local, it's kind of semi-local. They go all the way out to Vernon and Nocona and St. Joe and that sort of. So it's more of a regional. When I say local, it's more of a regional high school athletes award They do high school, colleges, and then they do post. Like there's an award given for the most successful people that are after school. You know, Jacob Rodriguez comes to mind. He was just drafted by the Miami Dolphins, local guy. By the way, I think Jacob Rodriguez is going to be at the Falls Fest. I think I saw that, the 4th and Freedom Fest.
Okay.
So anyhow, this is a great award ceremony. It's at Dia Ligon Coliseum. You can get seats on the floor where you can have dinner and all that, be down close to the action, or you can get seats up in the balcony that are really cheap. They're up in
$10.
Yeah.
Yep, $10.
It's one of those deals. It's a great event to go to. The energy is great. You get to see these local schools that win, and these athletes are so proud of themselves and so happy, and they have every right to be, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a really neat event. So if you get a chance, Thursday night, go check it out. Great event. And also the Hall of Fame.
Right.
The local sports Hall of Fame is there, and just a neat event to celebrate the excellence in local athletics, high school, mostly high school, but a little bit of college, and post grad.
Okay. Well, there we go. All right. Well, I guess
and it's also going to be on TV if you want to watch it on TV.
Oh,
I believe, or on maybe it's online. I don't know that it's actually on Channel 3. But it's maybe online.
The show will be aired live on multiple platforms, including KFDX TV. Oh, looks like Channel 3 says it is. And then their app, and Texoma's homepage. So
awesome.
No excuse. If you're into that, then you should.
Well, yeah, if you're not into it, you're not into it. By the way, World Cup, since we're talking sports here, World Cup, the U.S. has advanced to the round of 16. They went to the knockout round. They beat Bosnia and Herzegovina. And beat them, which sounds like they're at a disadvantage because they had to play two countries. No, actually, literally, there is a country, and it's called Bosnia and Herzegovina. That is the name of the country. Yep. And so it's basically two countries that they merged, and that's what they call it. But they played them in the knockout rounds and beat them handily. Actually, we're down to 10 men because they got a red card. One of their men was sent off with a red card. Bullshit red card, by the way.
Right.
Not just by Trey standards. I mean, I have not heard one industry expert, all these soccer experts that have said this was a good red card.
Yeah.
And the downside is it's the U.S.'s number one scorer in this tournament, and he's going to be out because you have to sit out. When you get a red card, you have to sit out the next game.
Right.
1 game suspension. So they're going to play Monday night, and they're going to be up in Seattle, and it's going to play Belgium, which Belgium scraped by in their win. Okay. And so it's going to be a great time. Also, the England side of my family is also English, so I've been watching that. And England's going to play Sunday night, and they're going to play Mexico in Mexico City. I think that's going to be a really tough game for England.
Well, you know, I played soccer since I was 10, and I've never gotten into the World Cup. I should, but I
like the patriotism of it.
Yeah. Well, here's my overall thing. I don't watch really any sports. I used to watch the Cowboys, but I've gotten out of that. I just have decided that I'd rather do other things, and I'm not against it at all. I think it's great. I want people to be
right. Yeah, it's just
I haven't doing it. Yeah,
it's like reading.
Yeah,
I don't like to read.
Yeah,
and I know that sounds very unsophisticated to me. I don't give a shit.
Former president of school board. But
no. I read a lot, but I don't read novels. I should say novels. Yeah.
No, but you do audiobooks.
Oh yeah, no, I do listen to audiobooks.
There you go. So it's just a different.
You can do. The reason I listen to audiobooks is because I can do something else while doing
right?
it.
And not to say there isn't some benefit. And if you love to enjoy reading, that's your thing.
Right. I'd rather watch the movie.
Yeah, but I think you're pretty smart anyway.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, but no, but I actually would rather watch the movie. My imagination is not great. I'll admit.
Right.
Now I'm good at one-liners and bullshit stuff.
Right.
But as far as sitting down and reading a novel and trying to build the Harry Potter world in my head, I just want to watch a movie.
Yeah, let that go. But yeah, I'm not into that either. So anyway, all right. So what's up in the news world?
Okay,
we got nothing's happening in Wichita Falls.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing happening in Wichita Falls. Yeah, right. Okay, the Wichita Falls Economic Development Corporation has reached a settlement with Carter Aviation, and it resolves litigation regarding the outstanding loans provided by the company, or provided to the company from 2010, 2013.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a while.
Right. And
the city said to recover $2.29 million. And So Carter Aviation was a company that was here, and I don't believe they exist anymore, or maybe they exist.
I think he's still, well, obviously they're still around.
They might have
Somebody's got
assets.
some money.
It doesn't
Right.
mean that they
Right.
they're. I don't know if they're doing business. I don't really know what it was, but anyhow, so the city loaned them money to expand their
In anticipation
right.
of.
to expand their business. And this what happens. Sometimes businesses fail.
Right.
And they don't mean to fail. The people at Carter Aviation, they're good people. They didn't intend to not make out what they thought they were going to do.
Right.
And so, but for whatever reason, things didn't go the right way. And so now they owe the city money. And yes, it's not a recovery of the full amount. That's true. But at some point, this has been since 2010 to 2013. You kind of look at it and go, okay, what if we collected this $2.29 million in 2013 or 2015, let's say, would it be worth more than the 3.1? It would be.
Right.
So at some point you need to get the money, take the money, get the money that you're gonna receive, and because you can only squeeze that turnip so many times, that stone.
And also keep in mind, we don't have any knowledge. We don't have all the very specific knowledge about this whole case.
No, that's true.
And so I think there's a lot of, sure, a fair amount. It's a fair game to criticize what has happened and so you don't do it again, or do the best you can to avoid doing it.
But the problem is you don't know.
Right. You don't know, but you have due diligence and all that. And I think there's a different realm, different thing going on back then, a different regime, if you will, was happening.
Yeah, I agree.
And so you don't hold these guys responsible.
The current administration.
Right.
Don't.
They're doing the best they can, and they're doing the best they can with the knowledge. Now, you may not trust them. I mean, and I understand there's a lot of things, the data center and all these other things going on, the history of the mattress company and all of that. I mean, there's so many things you can go back and look at.
Look at Pan Biotech, though.
Right. Well,
they're blowing and going.
Well, I've seen some criticism there as to.
There's always people.
I know. I know.
And usually it's a bunch of dumbasses that don't know anything.
And that's where we need to get.
Don't come here from Sikkim.
Maybe you ought to get the Panda people to come over.
I reached out to them.
Okay. Well, I'll call them.
You could be the Panda update.
Yeah. So anyway,
Panda whisperer.
In any case, I guess what I'm saying is I'm not like pro data center. I'm not against the data center. I'm looking at the data, the information that's presented and trying to look at that. And we've actually got a little topic we're going to hit on. There's one specific thing about the water.
We're talking about Carter here, though.
I'm saying I'm teasing it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but yes, in this case though, it's just water under the bridge. You can't do much about changing. You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. I mean, sure, all of that has played a role here for the decision of the board that come out. Right? They're the ones that they made a recommendation, right? And then the city backed it up, said, all right, let's just get it done. But they're getting some of the money. They're getting about 2/3 of what
they're getting about 2/3 of the money. So, and I go back to, if you collected that 2/3 of that money 10 years ago,
right,
it would be worth more than what they owe us.
Right. So all of that ultimately I just think we just got to let it go, get that money, what we can, trust. But again, I know it's hard for people to trust anybody these days.
But it's really not. It's not hard to trust.
For some people, it obviously
because
is.
they're dumb. Because they're dumb and because they're dumb and uneducated. No, because people want to read. Oh, it said on Facebook. No.
Yeah, if you're doing that, then I'd say
trust everybody.
Yeah.
But okay, go back to, if you ever wonder whether to trust somebody or not, use Trey's. Here's Trey's logic tip of the day.
Trey's trust Anyway, go ahead.
Trey's trust logic. Who is somebody telling you? What? Who are they telling you? Who is it that's telling you whatever, right? Why are they telling you? And do they have any incentive to lie to you?
Right.
Okay?
Well, no.
And if they have no incentive to lie to you, they know. They probably know more than you do about it. When you talk about elected officials, they've researched the shit out of it. They have these, and not just that, they have staffs of people. You sitting at home with a full-time job don't have time to learn as much as they have. They have multiple people who their full-time job is to learn all the information they can about stuff.
Yep.
So at some point, you have to look at it and go, okay, let's look at the data center. Well, let's do Carter Technologies.
Yeah.
This company came out. They asked for money from the city. The city looked at it and said, you know what? This looks like a good investment to
4A board.
Right.
Or 4B, whatever,
4B,
whichever one it was. Yeah.
This is a good investment to bring jobs to the city.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Right. It's a risk.
So now they're going to take it. Now, I agree with you. It is a different regime. They've learned from Carter. They've learned from the mattress. But you look at some of the newer investments, and they look like they're going to pay off well.
Right.
So just because something happened 10 years ago that didn't work out. By the way, I was involved with a lawsuit against Stanley Tools when that happened. I wasn't in the regime that gave Stanley Tools the tax abatement.
No.
That was before my time on the board.
Right.
But I was on the board when we sued them to get our money back.
And look at that, Stanley Tools. That is a well-establised, many years. I mean, and yet
multi-billion, million,
right.
At least
so,
$1 billion.
So
company.
you can do all the due diligence and all that, and it still doesn't work out. There could be any number of reasons. I don't know the reason behind that.
They decided to move their factory somewhere.
They just decided. Okay, well, see.
Yeah, they didn't go out of business.
No.
They decided to move, they decided to move their factory probably to offshore.
Right.
And
they knew the risk.
They figured, okay, well, number one, I don't think they thought they were going to have to pay us because they brought some lawyers in from like New York City. And that was interesting to watch that play out in court. Wowzer. You talk about
educated.
Oh, they were trying to be New York City bullies, and they got their asses smacked down in a Wichita County court.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it was very funny to watch.
Right.
But point is, things like this happen. In my opinion, it's best if somebody owes you money, and it's been this long.
Sure.
You get to a point where you cut bait.
Right, exactly.
Get the money you can and move on to the next project.
Yeah, because, all you're going to do is just add to the lawyer fees, and at some point, and you just, and also the effort, let's get what we can and let's build on that.
Let's move on. Put our energies into something else.
Exactly. And you know what? We've all, at least if you've been in business, have you not had things you invested in, it didn't end up working out? And you're like, you know what? I've already. It's an education.
I would be on if all my investments worked out. I'd be on a beach in Bahamas right now. I would not be sitting here doing this. Well, I might but I'd be doing it from a beach in Bahamas.
So we do it on Zoom and all that. So anyway, I guess I'm not. And here's where I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna disagree a little bit. And as far as the thinking on the individuals, I'm not saying everybody's educated. I'm not educated on everything, but I feel like in life though, you have to, and you agree with this part, you got to trust the system or something at some level. But here's the thing. The folks that are just that cave people, I think, Citizens Against Virtually Everything, there are a lot of those folks that come out and they're like, look, I don't trust. Oh, they've had backroom deals and all this. And I know how you feel about that because it's like, no, the backroom deals, you don't know that those things are happening. You're just speculating. You've heard somebody say that they heard somebody say, and they saw a meeting with somebody or whatever. I mean, you're making shit up. And I don't say, so, MSU people.
I cannot believe your language, Terry. I'm so offended.
But not MSU, Midwestern State, but making shit up people. MSU people like that. But you just don't do that. Just truly look at it for yourself and get down to but it's good, though, that people are at least participating in local politics. But I wonder, I just saw something this morning. I was coming home. I was watching some videos coming here. Larry, what's the investor? The big I can't remember. Larry is his last name. He's on Shark Tank.
Kevin Leary.
Kevin Leary. There you go. I was watching
O'Leary,
Larry. Yeah, I was watching him this morning, and he's bringing up. I guess there's a congressman bringing up this too. It's like, look at where did all this opposition come from? And I'm not discounting anything. And I know there are some real issues like in Graham and a few other places. Not Graham, Granbury. I think there's some issues, some cheap data centers and all of that.
But they're really not they're mining.
Bro, they're mining. There's still data centers. There's the mining,
Right,
but
they're
very
doing a different thing.
Right, they're doing a different thing, and there's a quality of that and all that. So at some level, you got to look at it. But also, I think it's fair to look at all of the other issues, all the other why are they coming into Wichita Falls? Here's a good question. We're not given any tax breaks. We do have water. And we've got, like I said, we're going to look at a video later about that. But then it makes me wonder what is the downside? There's going to be traffic. There's going to be some issues as we grow. And yeah, in the end, take what's happening and we're going to use it for what it is. I think I'm going to call it a windfall. We've talked about that with the mayor. This is a windfall. You got to have the mentality that this may not last very long. If it does, great. But don't reset things to where you end up.
They're not going. I don't think
right.
they're
No,
not going to.
Exactly.
You don't create positions. What you do is you use it for infrastructure.
Right. Exactly.
You use it for one time projects.
Right. And so I think they're going to do that. But again, that's your choice. You're going to decide whatever it is you do. But I'm open to. I'm not pro anything. I'm just except for pro Wichita Falls, and I want things to be here. And maybe I'll benefit a little bit from retail, but
maybe.
But I doubt anybody's going to come in and say, "Hey, come run my IT while I'm here temporarily."
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
we're not. Neither one of us are in the type of business. If you're in the hotel business, the restaurant business, you're going to see some immediate. When we get all these construction people in here, businesses like yours and ours that are more niche.
I have a rental. I could my rent will probably be able to go up once my
right.
But
I don't think my rental in New Mexico is going to help.
No.
It's a long commute. But the point is when you want to, if you're not sure, just do some research. And I'm not saying trust everybody about everything. Right. I don't either. Right. I'm optimistic. I think you are skeptic. I'm an optimist with an eye of skepticism.
Yeah.
And I think you need to do that. But when you look at it and go, okay, number one, does this person know more than I do about this?
Right.
Okay. And don't be a narcissist to think you know everything, because you don't.
No.
Number two, does this person have anything at all to gain by doing something nefarious?
No, I know.
I mean, the fact is, all of these elected officials, they all live in Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
Their families are living in Wichita Falls.
Right.
If they were going to run us out of water, what do they get? They're going to run themselves out of water?
Right.
You think Tim Short, who's been here for decades and decades, is going to all of a sudden he's got an exit strategy where he's going to run the city out of Wichita Falls and then leave Wichita Falls?
Right. No, and I don't think in terms of what you're saying, those words are absolutely the way to do it. However, here's where I think that people's skepticism comes from too, is that apparently, and I don't have any specifics here, and I'd like to hear people who do have this particular skepticism, is where are you hearing these particular stories? But I'm trusting, or I believe that there are probably some of these companies have not lived up to what they said.
Right.
So you can't take their word for it. And so that's why you can only go and learn back. And I know we're talking to people in Abilene. I know we're talking to various cities about that have had data centers, so we can learn and have that. And Texas has put in place some things, some criteria by which they have to follow. And I think it's an evolving thing. So
I agree, but here's the other side of it. The city's already made a shitload of money off these people.
Sure, absolutely.
So if they pull out right now, we're millions and millions of dollars ahead.
Oh yeah.
So how bad can it be?
Right.
What are they going to get?
Just don't count your chickens ahead.
You don't count your chickens. But my point is, what I'm saying is, so you just take the money as they're doing, let them build, let them start building, and then all of a sudden, if they decide, oh wait a minute, our investments ran out or whatever it is, we're millions and millions and millions of dollars ahead already, and the land is still sitting there. So either they can sell it or we can get it back and sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no downside.
Well, right.
There's no downside.
Right.
We're not giving anything up.
Right. Oh, I know.
And by the way, it's a private business who's bought land.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Right.
Do you believe in capitalism or not?
Exactly. And freedom. And
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Right.
Look, I mean, you can't say they're going to go out there and start, burning puppies or something like that. I mean, there's certain things, but if they're doing something that's legal and ethical,
let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Just wait and see. My whole thing is everybody wants to fight something before it ever happens. It's like, why?
Yeah. Well, I wonder.
Where is the downside?
Kevin O'Leary's point. I'm curious to see if that comes to brings up something that is there somebody coming in, like the people out of state or out of the city that came in for a lot of the city, like during the when we were trying to get the new central, we had all those bonds.
Yeah.
And they came in, and they were all these people, and they were from out of town.
Oh, yeah. They were.
A lot of out of town money came in for that to fight it.
There's groups out there that will fight any bond. They literally go around the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And if it's a school bond, a city bond, or whatever, they'll fight any bond.
Right. But where's that money? Yeah. So anyway, that's what
people
I
who
wonder
just,
about.
You know.
So, anyway, so we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
All right. What is the next thing? So
thousands of Hot Wheels are now on display in Burkburnett after the Wheels of Wonder Museum welcome public for the special open house. This is really cool. There's a guy named Ted Quaz, which, by the way, I've known Ted Quaz for many, many years. He used to ride motorcycles. His son and he and his son both ride motorcycles. And Ted also served on the city council in Burkburnett for many years.
Okay.
He's 90 years old, and he's been collecting Hot Wheels for decades and decades and decades, and he has donated those to this museum, his collection, so everybody can enjoy them.
Yeah, see.
And so the city of Burkburnett or their economic development or somebody purchased a old school building, former school building, and they set this thing up. I've not been there. I've seen pictures and videos of it. It's pretty amazing. And, you know, if you're not into Hot Wheels, you're not into Hot Wheels, but this is something that's local. It's close to us. If you don't live in Burkburnett, Burke's right down the road. You're just never going to see a collection of Hot Wheels displayed in this manner. And whoever did the display did an awesome job. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is on.
Little video. Yeah, hit a little video. See if.
Let's see here.
See if they do a quick run through. We don't need to run the whole story. I just told them the story.
Oh, gotta get an ad here. You gotta pay the bills.
Operated for over 45 years.
Oh, come
is
on.
certified for residential and
All
commercial
right.
roofing. And
Well, anyway, but yeah, I played with Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I had Sizzlers.
The ones that would move on their own.
Yeah. Here, okay. Here, I'll let's see if I can advance it a little bit. Here.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll just do some quick. Yeah. Oh,
they're setting it up.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that little. They go through.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yep. See, they have different posters on the walls. They have cool display. Look at that display there.
Oh yeah, that's
well thought out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever's doing this is really doing a great job. Look at all those.
Oh,
and this is on permanent display.
Oh my.
Look at that.
Jeez, that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
So for the kid in you,
yeah.
If you're into Hot Wheels or if you want to have your kids go do something that's really cool and local, go check out the Hot Wheels.
Check out the Hot Wheels.
And big thanks to Ted Quaz for donating this and just making this dream a reality. They've been talking about this for quite some time, and I think it was just something that is made a reality. He spent a lifetime of collecting these things, and now he wants to show off and let the public enjoy it.
That's right. So let other people share the enjoyment.
Yep, exactly.
Because you and I, we just a lot of people there's some people, we had fun. If we always wish we still had all of our Hot Wheels, right?
Yeah,
because of that kind of thing, because they have some value.
Half of mine are buried at my parents' house and in their yard and all that.
Well, I went to a vintage computer show quite a while ago, and not quite a while, a few weeks ago, and it was interesting. So did I talk about that?
No.
No, I didn't talk about the computer show. All right, should have. All right, well, anyway, so what do we got next?
Okay, the Supreme Court has denied the executive order to end birthright citizenship. Now, next week, we're going to go kind of a deep dive into all the Supreme Court decisions they had. We'll just talk about this one real quick. So, number one, I'm not surprised that this executive order got defeated.
Yeah.
Number two, I agree the fact that it shouldn't have been an executive order.
Right.
While I like the concept, okay, so birthright citizenship, the reason behind it was not that so people could fly into America or come across the border, have a child, and all of a sudden become an American citizen, and now you cannot, number one, can't deport an American citizen,
right? And
they're eligible for all the benefits, and you cannot deport their parents, or at least one of their parent. I don't know if both or at least one. And this has become a cottage industry. The reason birthright citizenship, the amendment passed, which was a great reason, was so it protected slaves.
Right.
Slaves and children of slaves, because technically they were not American citizens. So you have to understand, especially in the South, former slaves were not treated really well right after the Civil War.
Probably heard that somewhere.
Yeah, you probably heard that. And by the way, the South, the people in the South weren't treated very well either. You had the carpetbaggers from up north. The South, the people in the South were treated like dog shit as well.
Yeah.
But so were the slaves, former slaves and their children. And so what was happening is there were people that were denying citizenship to, or not calling people who were children of slaves citizens, because technically slaves weren't citizens, they were property.
Right.
And they're like, even though those kids were born in America, they were not being considered citizens.
Right.
So that's why they passed the amendment. It was a great idea. It made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, now people are utilizing that and have been, not just now, for many years, have been utilizing that amendment to game the system.
Yep.
There are literally people who fly into America pregnant, have a baby here, and then go back to another country and raise their child there, but their child has American citizenship.
Right.
Or there are people who come across the border, have a baby, and all of a sudden now that baby's an American citizen.
It's got to have the parents to raise it.
It has at least one parent and is entitled to all the taxpayer benefits. That's what I'm against. Look, if I could wave a magic wand and I could feed the world, I would do that.
Right.
But that can't happen. This world is not made out of pixie dust and fairy dust. The fact is, it's all resources. And I look at it from that standpoint. It's all resources, and resources are finite.
Right.
We only have so much resources. So that's why this executive order was made. So saying that just because you're born in America, you're not automatically an American citizen. It depends on your lineage and all. And by the way, almost every country in the world, there's no such thing as birthright citizenship.
Right.
Okay. We're one of the very, very few countries.
But
Go ahead.
well, I was going to say all of that. But in this case, let me back up on the executive order. Executive orders, if I'm understanding correctly, are designed or supposed to be, or one of the benefits of having the executive order and the reasons behind it is that sometimes there's some gaps in understanding of how something, it wasn't addressed or whatever in a law. Now, I don't know if it should technically extend to a president writing executive order to clarify the Constitution.
Yeah,
Right, that I don't think it's his job to do. That's what
their job is to enforce the laws, not make laws.
What was the reason? Did he not do it? How else can court cases get taken to the Supreme Court unless something's there to challenge? So if nobody challenged it, so I think it had served a purpose.
Oh, I did.
And he was hoping, I think we were all hoping that it would come on the side of, you don't have the birthright citizenship is not there.
Well, I agree, but here, what I'd go back to, this is a congressional issue.
Right,
That's the problem.
But
the
Congress
problem
didn't do anything.
That's right. They've abdicated their responsibility. So I'm hoping that these executive orders are forcing them. By the way, I am not a huge fan of using executive orders for everything. Oh, Trump is doing it. I don't like it.
Right.
Obama did it. I didn't like it. Joe Biden did it. I didn't like it. And it really kind of started with George Bush, H.W. Bush, not his daddy.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of started. Obama put steroids on executive orders and started using executive orders almost as a weapon.
Well,
and then Donald Trump picked up the mantle, did the same thing in his first time, and Joe Biden did it, and now Donald Trump's doing it again.
Right.
If it was up to me, I'm not against an executive order for a temporary action, but I think that it should have to be codified by Congress within a certain period of time.
Right.
Otherwise, it drops off the books.
Right. No, that's a good concept. I think that's there, but I think in this case that, he did so many of these executive orders and did things so that there could be that would be a reason for somebody to bring a suit, because otherwise there was no standing. Nobody could do anything. Just because if nobody pushes on the law a little bit, then nothing happens.
No, I agree with you.
I think it had a purpose.
I agree.
So I'm glad in that way.
But I am glad it got struck down.
Right now.
Because Congress needs to get their shit.
But the decision was, in our opinion, I think, right? You agree that the final decision was not right.
What do you mean?
the decision of, they basically came out and said that the birthright citizenship exists.
Right. No, I think the Supreme Court did it right. I still don't like it. No, I don't like it.
The process was done.
But the process and their decision was right, because I don't think the president should have
that part of it. Right. But that part
so
of it.
in the end, what I hope it does, and this has happened, we hear about these high profile court cases. Congress has passed a lot of things that have codified what the executive order. So President Trump signed an executive order, and Congress has codified that now. And I hope that they do that in this case.
Well, but wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm not missing something else. So, my understanding of what I've read is that it basically affirms that there is birthright citizenship.
It did.
Okay.
I don't
agree with that.
I don't agree with the policy,
right?
But I agree with the fact that the Supreme Court should have overruled
gotcha. Right.
that the president should not have been able to sign an executive order that ended that policy.
Well, I wish they had just stuck to that decision only, but they actually then went to define it, what birthright citizenship is. And you had Alito and Thomas and the three. What was the third one that voted against it? Or no,
was it Roberts?
Wait, the four. Anyway, if you read their dissenting opinions, they laid out and talked about the jurisdiction thereof, or whatever, the jurisdiction part. And they defined it as, no, these people don't have jurisdiction. They do, other than just following the law, which everybody has to do no matter what. They extended on the overall jurisdiction in terms of being a citizen and having other benefits and all that, whatever that means. They've defined it, and they're smarter than I am, so I'm not saying it very well. But then the majority ruled out that, they kind of overlooked that and actually said that they have jurisdiction and defined it more specific to where it is a birthright citizenship.
I think what it has to do is should go through Congress, and I think it should be put to a vote.
Right.
I think it should be put to a vote, a national vote.
Right.
Do you want it or not?
Right.
And we change the Constitution.
Right. Well,
that's why there's called amendments.
Right.
That's why we still. That's why women can vote now. That's why we still don't have slavery. Right. They're called amendments to the Constitution.
Exactly. Yep.
That's why there was. And by the way, sometimes they get turned over. Remember that thing called prohibition? Right. That was an amendment to the Constitution, and then it was overturned.
Right. We needed to amend the 14th Amendment because it needed to be more narrowly defined, rather than it had a specific purpose at that time in the context of that time.
Exactly.
That was
people
it.
Back then could not agree, could not fathom that at some point somebody could get on an airplane. What?
Exactly. Yeah.
There was no such thing.
Right.
Get on an airplane and fly from another country.
But also, I think they also considered the fact that maybe they didn't imagine this influx of people and some political thing all the way from South America all the way through, and to be used for Arab country citizens to come through.
Why would people want to come to America back then?
Right.
America was not a superpower.
Exactly.
America was not what we were. Why would people want a whole bunch of people want to come from another country to America?
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
and so you can't blame the people. They went by, kind of like we did Carter Aviation.
Yeah.
They did the best with what they had with the information they had at the time.
Right. There you go.
But now things have changed. There's time to relook at it. So
all right.
I think Congress needs to act.
All right. Cool. And next thing.
Okay. So this is kind of a funny one. And if you're into the internet thing, or social media and stuff, I've heard there's a lot of memes by this. I know what a meme is, but I don't watch them. So there was a WNBA game between the Indiana Fever, who's Caitlin Clark, who's the most famous WNBA player, plays, and the Phoenix Mercury. And during the game, Caitlin Clark received a technical foul following a physical altercation with another player from the other team, and the other player did not get a technical foul.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark has been really abused. I mean, haven't been watching this, but everybody I'm hearing, all the pundits and all, that say that she's absolutely getting abused in this league. So one of her teammates, Sophie Cunningham, decided she's going to point, and she started pointing at the other player. And it was so funny the way she did it. If there was a video of it, she points for like 20 seconds, and she walks around the court constantly pointing, and the other player's just getting madder and madder, and she's got a smile on her face and a smirk on her face the whole time.
Well, let's see if I can.
But it's turned. I mean, you could probably find a meme of some sort.
Here it is. One of the funniest moments. Okay, so
there we go. Go ahead. All right. We got it over here. See, look at her face. She got that smirk on her face. She's walking around the court doing this. And the other lady's getting really mad, and she's doing the finger wave. And the other, she's not mad. All she's doing is doing that.
Nope.
And it's basically she's standing up for her teammate.
Yeah.
Who, look, I mean, it absolutely looks like Caitlin Clark is getting abused in the. Look, she's still doing it.
Yeah.
She's still pointing.
Oh.
It looks like Caitlin Clark is getting abused on these games and getting a lot of liberties taken from her.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. She's risen the tide of all boats. The WNBA was a afterthought before Caitlin Clark went into the league.
Yeah.
Now they're making more money. They're flying private jets. They've gotten so many benefits simply because this one superstar, she's like the Michael Jordan,
Right.
or the Larry Bird or the Magic Johnson.
She's good.
Well, she's not only good, but she's popular.
Right. And well, she's likable. She has
right.
That, right.
There's a lot of things about it, but she's popular. And in the end, like you said, you don't watch sports.
Yeah.
So if you're not putting your one less set of eyes. But if you went, hey, I like Caitlin Clark, I'm interested in this, I'm going to start watching. Now advertisers can go, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. There's another set of eyes on this thing. Exactly. And it's all about money because sports don't exist
without sponsorships.
And without viewers.
Yep.
Not at this level.
No.
I mean, in high school, yeah.
Right.
In college, maybe to some degree, because there are some small. I mean, we all know your UTs and A&Ms and Michigans and all that, but there's also, Ball State that doesn't have a huge, things like that.
Does MSU make money on their sports?
Probably not.
Well,
they may based on their conference stuff. I don't really know. I don't know the economics.
But nothing like the UT and A&M and all that. Oh
my God! But my point is, this is hilarious, and I think it was so cool of this lady to do that and to take the high road, do the point, do this. You could tell she's trying to keep from laughing. Yeah. And she's not mad. She's just going at it. And the other lady's getting madder and madder. And sometimes that's the best way to rile somebody up, is smile at them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just let them get mad. Let them get mad. Anyhow, I think it's funny.
All right.
Okay. This is something you came. The next one is a data center. Yeah. Abilene.
Okay.
This is a video that you came across.
Yep.
So we need to do a little bit of background here. Abilene currently has a data center. And they are in the process of building more data centers.
Right.
So they know more than...
But they have actual facts.
Yeah.
The actual data
they know
they've
more
collected.
Than your YouTube
right.
and Facebook and facts. These are real data. These are people that live in Abilene who give a shit about the city and want it to succeed.
Right. And this is one of the many topics, the concerns that people are expressing. Water being probably one of the biggest. If the first biggest, and then there's some other things, but so listen to this and just again, if you don't believe their data, then I can't do anything.
If you're gonna not believe anything,
say they're outright lying about the data, then they've gone to and think about it. That data came from, and this is the city. Gosh, I forget what she is. We'll talk about it. But anyway, she the lady that's going to be on here. She's talking about the data that's coming from their city water department.
Right.
This is real facts and everything. So let's just
it takes. By the way, if you don't believe it, why would the city water department lie about it?
Right.
To what? Once again, I go back to who's made. Are they getting extra money because they're lying? Right. Is the mayor secretly wanting to screw the city and run the city into the ground and then leave town? Right. Why would they do it?
No.
Go ahead.
And so, all right. So I'm gonna bring. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Get this.
Take our big ugly mugs off the big screen. Or my ugly mug, and you're kind of cute. So
yeah. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, let's see here. So I'm gonna start.
That's what all the guys in prison said.
Make sure the audio is on. Okay, I got to click that button there. Okay, so I got audio. I should be good to go. So I'm going to start this.
Put it in perspective. How much water does the data center use? And you can break it down on a daily basis, annual basis, but in a context that whenever they start talking acre feet, they lose me 100%, and I go, I don't understand any of that. So breaking it down in kind of easily understood terms, how much is this using and context of does it break into the top 20, top 5 users in the city?
So I did request for some updated numbers because I knew we were going to get to have this conversation, and so The total number of gallons used in 2025 for the data center, the Stargate data center, is about 1 million gallons a month. So that is, in comparison, one of our larger industrial water users is about 9 million gallons.
Pause that real quick.
So just looking at total for.
So, did you hear what she said?
She said that
1 million gallons a month.
right.
But they have a larger industrial. I don't know who she's talking about, but apparently in Abilene.
Well, they talk about that a little bit later.
I don't know if they get specifics.
He brings up some specific,
like
at least
company.
industries or company.
I don't think they say company names, but whomever it is in Abilene
right.
uses 9 million gallons of water.
Right.
I don't think the citizens of Wichita Falls or of Abilene are saying get rid of this industry.
No.
That would be, Tim Short said it perfectly, I thought. If Howmet said, we're going to build a new plant and we're going to hire X amount of people, the people of Wichita Falls would be applauding, but yet they're going to use as much water as they're using now. The people of Wichita Falls would applaud it.
Right.
For some reason, these data centers, and I think it has to do with propaganda, but go ahead.
Right, okay.
For industrial use, 1 million gallons a month versus 9 million gallons a month. That was 2025. 2026, they have increased, of course, because they've got more buildings under construction and they're starting to fill more of their cooling systems.
Pause it real quick
at
again.
this point, 2020.
And by the way, when they say they're going to fill, that means they're going to use it, but they're not using it over and over. It's a closed loop system. Go back to how often do you put water or fluid in your radiator in your car?
Right. Well,
it's the same type system.
Right.
It'll leach out a little bit probably.
Right. Well, but
it's not the same. It's the same thing as a radiator in a car.
They'll talk about it later, but every 3 to 5 years they'll do a whole flush, which is.
When's the last time you put radiator fluid in your car?
Oh yeah, right. No.
You go to sometimes you go to get your oil changed, they check it.
Right.
Most of the time they don't put anything in it. Every once in a while they'll put a little splash in there.
But then the manufacturer says, hey, flush it every so often.
Exactly.
And,
which by the way you should be doing.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that and you're not putting new antifreeze in, your shit doesn't work.
Right.
You could get a very simple tester from O'Reilly's or AutoZone or whatever, and it's a little ball tester, and you stick it in there, you pull up some antifreeze, and it tells you the freezing point, and it's not just freezing, boiling point.
Yep.
You need it both ways because antifreeze also helps you from overheating. You put straight water into your radiator, and 102 degrees outside, you can cancel Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's one of those deals that you've got that a certain amount of protection. Right. I don't know I can't come up with the best word. Right. Protection that antifreeze offers for freezing or cooling, and you need to flush it out. Right. You need to clean that out occasionally, and they have to do the same thing.
Right. So anyway, but they'll get into more details.
26, they're averaging about 3 million gallons a month, and
on up to 3 now.
Industrial user over this same time period is at about 10 million. So you can see,
so another industrial user
9 and 10
up
million gallons a month for a major industrial user, and the campus is 1 in 3. So what we are waiting to see is the stabilized post-construction numbers. So remember, these are when they're filling their cooling systems. Sometimes they flush them a time or two. But once the campus is completed, as far as its construction is concerned, their per building volume of water will be about 100,000 gallons.
100,000 gallons versus, and this is, hold on,
a year, which is about the.
Yeah.
We go from right now we're at 3 million. As they're building and adding new stuff, they have
filling up their tanks.
And so the fact that as far as watering the lawn, probably a little bit. They're probably going to landscaping.
They're going to use more watering the land, according to Tim Short, which is, and this is verifying this. Yeah. They're going to use more water flushing toilets.
Yep.
And landscaping than they will in the cooling system of the data center.
Right. And putting in perspective that these other companies are 9 million a month.
Yeah.
This is, and also we ought to point out that out in, I forget how many, is it several million a day that is evaporated at.
Evaporation is the biggest thing.
Yeah. So,
but let me ask you something. What does the hospital use a month?
Oh, Jeez, they probably, yeah.
I don't know.
They got clean a lot more than they probably, most places.
Well, they flush a lot of toilets.
Right. And then.
And okay, the hospital, maybe the hospital's not great because we got to have the hospitals. Okay,
right,
that's fine. What does the mall, and I know the mall's not there anymore, but what did the mall use when it was full?
Yeah, huge. But so the thing is, though, if you're at the mall, you just happen to be there. If there's 10,000 people at the mall and they got to pee, they're going to go pee and they're going to get water and they're going to do whatever.
Wash your hand. They're going to flush your toilets and hopefully wash your hands.
But if they weren't at the mall, they would be at home or they'd be at the movie theater down the hall. They'd be somewhere.
I'm just trying to think of a large.
No, I know.
What is what's a Texas Roadhouse? How much water do they use a month?
Right, and because they got to wash.
It's a lot more than you think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying get rid of Texas Roadhouse.
No.
I'm just saying. I bet it's a lot. You drive by there, there's a shitload of people almost all the time.
Yeah.
I bet they go through a lot of water a month, more than you think they would.
Now, if nobody went to restaurants, there would be no extra dishes to wash. Oh, but maybe they would, because then you'd be eating at home.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wash your dishes there.
So.
And you probably use more. Your water, you're going to spend more water rinsing it before you put it into the damn washer.
Right.
Anyway, but putting it in context, think about all this stuff. Look at all the radiators that have to be flushed in Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
And the toxic part of it, going into this, so anyway, just think about that. Oh, back to
as an average household use.
It's pretty impressive.
So you've got 10 buildings equal to the average household use of about 10 single-family homes.
And then every now and then they'll need to recharge.
Probably, what they're saying is 3 to 5 years is when they may need to do the recharge. It's 1 million gallons for the cooling system for one building. And so the likelihood that they are going to fill all 10 at the same time would be at the most 10 million gallons. And the total daily water use in Abilene is about 25 million.
25 million is all of, and I imagine we're similar. I mean, they're a little bit bigger.
You're a little bit, but not a ton.
And they may have a little more things, but yeah, it's okay.
So even if they flushed all of their cooling systems at the same time and refilled them all at the same time, which they won't because that would shut down their operations, they would be using half of the water use for one day.
Mm-hmm. So the 9 million, I think you said 3 million per month, and then a regular industrial user was around 9-10 million
Correct.
a month. A regular industrial user would be like the hospital, university,
Midwestern. I didn't think about Midwestern.
Those out there, those are using 9 to 10 million gallons of water a month. And the data center is only going to be using 3 million gallons a month.
That's what they're using now.
Okay.
And again, that's because they're in the construction phase.
Right.
So once they're out of the construction phase, it's 100,000 gallons a year.
Do you like wearing headphones when you're on the? Do you like hearing yourself? I don't.
It doesn't bother me.
I don't like hearing
but
myself.
No, I know.
Mike could always use headphones, but I can't. I could
understand
because when I'm talking like this, I sound like I'm going, hey, this is Trey.
Right.
When I listen to myself, it's like, hey, it's Trey here at 80 Hills.
Right,
I sound like such a red.
Mike as a DJ though.
No, I know.
He would actively working the board and everything. He would listen to things that aren't necessarily.
I know.
So he had a
can't
reason,
do it. I'm not capable. She's sitting there and it just reminded me. Mike always wore headphones and I never did. I'm like, I can't stand to wear them.
There's a lot of podcasters that'll put on headphones during the podcast.
I don't like to listen to myself talk.
It doesn't bother me one way or another.
Now,
if you would wear them or wanted to wear them, I'd probably wear them. Everybody was wearing them, I'd go ahead and do it just to be the same. But all right,
here, so that's like less than 10,000 gallons a month.
Right. So even worst case scenario, which is kind of what we're in right now, they're using 3 million, and then once they're completed, it drops down to 100,000 gallons a month. Is the projection?
A year.
A year.
Yes.
Wow. So that's and that's mainly due to the closed loop system, which I think to put it.
Okay. So that is just some real facts in a real situation.
So if you want to call BS on the city of Abilene and those people don't know what they're doing, they're living it real time.
Right.
There's data. And by the way, all of this is public information. If you want to file a FOIA request, you can get this information, and those people can go to prison if they're not telling you the truth.
Right.
And do you think anybody there is willing to go to prison for what? For what?
Well,
They're not gaining anything out of this.
right. And
they're not getting a commission on it.
Yeah. And there's so many accusations thrown about the people in the backroom deal type situations. They're padding, they're agreeing to this because they're going to get money.
I'm not saying that there's not corruption. There has not been corruption places.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
It is it's so few and far between, especially on the local side, because it's so, you can't hide it.
Right.
So many people get caught when they're corrupt. They get caught. And I know I've heard people like the former mayor did this, and he never was, he was a lot accused. I never saw a piece of paper. I never saw a document. I never saw anything credible, but he was never arrested. So come on. And don't, when you say that, what you're doing is besmirching people, which I guess is your right. But I always kind of look at it and go, okay, would I do that? And if I wouldn't do it, why would I expect that somebody else would?
Yeah.
So, anyhow.
Well,
all right.
And one other thing, just to point out that I'm acknowledging a couple of things, and I'm just hoping you can acknowledge that this is real facts.
Yep.
Now, I'm also acknowledging and understanding that there's going to be a challenge with traffic, because that's one thing that's been a criticism of what's going on, but any progress is going to run into that.
Yeah.
How often have you been driving down the road and then suddenly there's a new thing like Winco? There was they actually did a pretty good job of staying out of the way, but that's not even a good example. But there are examples where construction of a private industry, a private business, has affected the public. Somebody may never actually go and shop at that place or participate with that company, but you're going to be inconvenienced.
Well,
at
hotter
some
than hell.
level. Hotter. Oh, yeah.
Hotter than hell. But it's good for the city,
right? Because you're inconvenienced every year for your business.
Close.
So we close. And so
but also another example. So all of a sudden, Ronnie's Burgers is full all the time because all these construction. Guess what's going to happen? Lonnie's Burgers is going to open up right next door.
Yeah.
And now they're going to create a whole nother industry. They're going to have employees. They're going to have all this. A great example of that is, you ever heard of Cane's chicken fingers?
Yeah.
Okay. In College Station, there was a Cane's, super popular. Guy opened up next door, Lane's. Or not next door, but right down the street, and Lane's chicken fingers.
Yeah.
So it spawned when this company cannot keep up with this demand.
There's room to bring somebody else.
There's room for somebody else.
Or you expand.
Yeah, you can expand, or there's room for somebody else to go, hey, I see a gap in the market.
Yeah, there's a need.
And I'm going to fill it.
Yeah, and that's how
that's called America.
Yeah.
That's called America.
Yeah, and that's how free enterprise works.
That's right.
If as long as the government doesn't, because we don't want just anybody to open up anything and to be cheap and unsafe and all of that. And I think there's a reasonable amount of oversight that a city can provide and through their permitting process, but oftentimes it's been challenged, but I bet it's a lot easier now here than it was 20 years ago.
I'm sure it is.
And so, but anyway, all of that to say that I acknowledge, and I hope you acknowledge that there are definite facts to look at that we can go back and this is objective. Okay. There's real world here, but also I can acknowledge that there are going to be challenges and whatever. And that's what we try to anticipate. And I think the city is already ahead of that. They've learned from Abilene and all the other places. And they have what is it, the camp that they're going to put, or because invariably we're going to have temporary workers, and some of them want to bring in their man camp. Okay, oh, that's sexist, but anyway,
it's a person camp.
There you go. Man/woman or man whatever.
It's a they camp.
Yeah. So anyway, so they've anticipated that there's been somebody to come in to meet that need.
Well, Brad Rogers is going to be on with us. He's building a whole new RV park.
Right.
So and a lot of it, and he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for this stuff.
Right. So he's going to bring some money and make some money here, and it's also providing it's going to be a safe place, not just made up. Somebody's not just renting out their land or whatever and making up something. So that's going to be addressed. Some of the
I have a cousin Eddie park on the lawn.
Yeah, yeah. So
the RV. Yeah. You're right.
So,
it's a big thing. Once again, I go back to wait and see.
Yeah.
So far, the city has made millions. We're millions and millions ahead on this deal.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So just take your time. Let's think about it.
Take a breath.
Put it in, and stuff you don't like is going to happen all the time. But bringing it up, I think talking about it is awesome. Let's talk about it. Let's have that conversation. And in the end, if the particulars that you didn't go your way, the city didn't, city council didn't vote your way or whatever, then you know what? There's an election coming
that's
up.
right. Either vote them out or run. By the way, put your hand up and say, "Hey."
And Scott is doing that.
I want to get some of this. Yeah.
And I don't know Scott that well. You know him better. Probably.
I know him. We're not best buddies, but I know him pretty well.
But Tim Short, I know Tim much better just because I've had more familiarity with him.
But that's why we have elections.
Exactly.
Scott has a reason he wants to run for mayor. He's going to come and talk about it.
Right.
So there we go.
And I think there's some guys running on the city council or whatever. That's great. Let's get more opinions out there. Let's not shut down anybody. Some people, you have a right to be stupid, right? And say stupid things. But hopefully,
Look at the DSA. They're the Democrat Socialists of America. They've had a few people that have been elected.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
Anyhow, I tell you what. Why don't we wait till this next one because it's pretty long.
Okay.
And we don't have a guest next week. Now after next week we're full for about a month and a half.
Okay.
So why don't we can run that other thing? We'll talk about who's coming up. Next week we'll kind of tease. We'll tease for real.
There we go.
You tease.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that, and then we'll also play the story of the Star Spangled Banner. You never heard it before. It's about 13 or 14 minutes. It's really phenomenal.
Okay.
But we've kind of run out of time.
Yeah,
here. So let's wrap it up, and then we'll get to that next week. Because by the way, just because it's going to be after the 4th of July doesn't mean the Star Spangled Banner goes away.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And keeping in mind, this is our 250th year as a country, so this should be
top of mind awareness.
Right, it should be talked about all the time, but but instead it is once a year.
By the way, I will tell you that we do have a very interesting guest based on what he does on 9/11. Mike Battolino is going to be on with us on 9/11.
Oh, okay.
And it just happens that was the Friday,
right?
But he's also in charge of SMAC. He's a former military
Shepherd Military Affairs Committee,
and it's just ironic that the military guy in charge of the Military Affairs Committee is going to be on 9/11, which, by the way, you should never forget. Yeah. That's another one of those. We need to keep that in our minds. I believe we got to watch those planes fly into those towers every time after time. Oh, yeah. It ought to keep you pissed. It ought to make you angry, and ought to keep us alert.
Right.
So and I'll get off my soapbox on that.
All right. Well, that's a snowbox. That's just the reality. So, all right. Well, we're going to see you next week. 7:30, same thing. No guests this next
No, we don't have any guest scheduled. Now, somebody might bop up.
Well, yeah, we might. If we can
you never know. Somebody might show up. So we'll see. You never know here on Get It Right Texoma.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll see you next week. Y'all have a great week. And as Mike always said, we will see you down the road.